Facebook acting whack. Instagram gonna start. What up, YouTube? What it do, YouTube? How you be, YouTube? I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come on in to invite a friend. And matter of fact, for you to invite about 10, you know why, don't you? You know why? You know why? Do you know? Cause it's the Floating Yogis Book Club and we about to go in. And cause all these other jokes acting a little funky right now, so we gonna try this again. That was the right one. And then we gonna go Badoo. Let's see if that makes a Badoo. Instagram's not doing it either. Okay. And that's where we at today. We got YouTube up, potentially, because I'm not 100% sure I can check in on that. And we just gonna rock with YouTube. What up, YouTube? And then we gonna rock with this IG over here, since y'all wanna act whack and weird. And that's fine. What up, though? Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. It is your guy, the Floating Yogi, and this is Floating Yogi's Book Club, brought to you by Yogi, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness in the community, one healthy habit at a time. We're reading Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? And hey, I'm glad to see y'all come on in. We actually finished the book. And if you want to be part of the discourse, if you want to be part of the conversation, the dialogue, so we can chop it up and talk about some of these things. You see that link that just magically appeared down there? Boop! And I just pinned it to the top. I highly encourage you to tap on that junk and go sign up for an account. You get access to all the free services from the book club, the free yoga sessions, the free breathwork and meditation sessions, all available weekly. They are free 99. However, you do have to pay. Attention. Come on now. Let's get it together. And some of the people who help me be me, help me do what I do. We got my dude Pay Ogre. He's part of the crew. DJ Tony. DJ Sexy Tony! Yeah! You can check him out with the daily prayer, daily meditation, daily breath work. Just a minute to check into your day. Know that there's somebody that's there that can vibe with you, that's like, you know what? Yeah, things is getting a little rough. Let's just breathe through it. Let's just take a moment. Anyway. What else we got going on? We also got, I'm going to let him I'm going to let him drop the gems about the daily meditation and daily movement accountability situation while I invite some folk like I just asked you to do.
All right, y'all. It's Tony, straight from the Payoga universe. And because I believe through my core that people are our greatest resource, I'm coming in hot to you to promote some stuff that's about general wellness and about connecting with other people. Get on to UE.dc on IG, check out the story, and just check in. Just hit the button that says Moved and Meditated. Also on IG, I'm Payoger1, O-N-E spelled out, and you can catch me on live most mornings, just doing a quick, just about a minute of breathing. 1 minute. I used to believe that 1 minute a day could change your life. And here I am changed. So I'm going to keep doing it. So yeah, check that out. Hit the button, meditate, vote, share, join the crew.
All right. With that being said, I got all my invites sent. I invited about 10 times 10, so go on and invite your friends and bring their asses on in. Alright, with that being said, as I mentioned before, we finished reading Who Moved My Cheese. And we just gonna go on the back end of the story. The story is over, but there's more information in the book. What? How is there more after the story? Because they be talking and stuff, and there be some good reflecting points that we can like chop up just a little bit. So we're gonna do a little bit of that. And I also wanted to let y'all know that we're gonna be switching book club to Tuesday nights. So next week we gonna chop it up. Tomorrow actually. I'm gonna slide on. I'm gonna slide on live. Just not with a book per se, not with anything structured, but to talk about and recap some of the books that we have read. We've done this before. I took some of them out, and we're gonna recap some of the books. We're gonna talk about some of the impactful talking points. I will as well. And it'd be fantastic for you to be a part of it. So hopefully you join in, hopefully you tap in, and you're like, you know what, this is a bit of a vibe. This is a bit of a bop.
Is there a set time for Tuesdays yet?
I'm glad you came through. His Yogi Dudeness. Hey, I'm loving the name too. I'm glad you stopped there. It'd be great to see you on Tuesday night. Maybe you got more time on Tuesdays at 9. Since Payoga was asking me what time, let's get with it with Tuesdays at 9. But once you sign up for that link that's pinned, once you go in there and get your free account, everything gonna be on there. It's gonna send you notifications if you want it to let you know how we rocking and how we grow and what's going on and when. So I encourage you to sign up, get a part of the mailing list, get a part of the services, become part of the community, and link up with some people who just want to bring out the best in you. Daggone it, let's grow. So, with that being said, clears my throat. Who moved my cheese? We're on page 77 if you do have the book. Just give a little bit of that hydration rocking, so. I'm not out here talking like this, like I've been smoking too much. Granted.
Move with the cheese and enjoy it. Just sounds like dancing to me.
Yeah.
Like, move with the cheese and enjoy it. Like, you know how black people, when you really like your food, you start to dance a little bit, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. When you got your cheddar, like, eh.
But you
so when your cheddar
move with the cheese and you gotta enjoy it. I swear, it's got some, like, really simple and cliche sounding quotes, but they be hitting. Because we already know the cheese is anything we desire. But we got to be able to move with, one, how our desires shift and change, and to where they shift and change. Maybe those same things aren't found in the same place, but we have to go to different places. It could be literally that simple.
I feel
we got to enjoy
I feel
it.
like most people.
You see it, right?
I feel like most people, whether consciously or unconsciously, have a scale of effort versus desire.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody has the desire to be healthy.
Yeah.
If it was just a choice, if I get to choose be healthy or not be healthy, I'm gonna just choose to be healthy. But it's not that simple.
It's not.
You got to put some work in. You got to have some discipline. There's gonna be some rough days every now and then. So moving with the cheese, and think our perspective on change in itself, the whole theme of the book. Mm-hmm. Because if we are inflexible, wasn't that one of our books too? The mindset book. We went over the rigid mindset versus the flexible mindset.
Oh, the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. Yep.
Exactly. And although, and they tried not to dog the fixed mindset, but they dogged the fixed mindset. Like, they tried to be like, oh, there's some benefits, and they built great companies, and I'm just like, they got lucky. And from my perspective, they were in the right place at the right time. They didn't procure themselves to be ready for it. They just happened to be right place, right time.
Ooh. So the enjoyment allows us to be ready for it and enjoying the fact that we're moving with the cheese, moving with the desires. Ooh, I like that, because that's a whole nother set in itself. Because yes, you're gonna enjoy your desires, but you gotta enjoy the changes. And it's just like a relationship. If you with somebody, they gonna change. You gonna be
I
with
tell
a
people
million.
all
What
the
was your?
time.
You had a quote. What was your quote that you said? If you would want, go and drop it because I think we don't. I think we here. I think we here, my dude.
I tell people all the time, if you're getting married, whoever you're marrying is not going to be the same person in 40 years. You, when you get married, are not going to be the same person in 40 years, especially if you ain't even 30 yet. Because most of the people I know getting married in their 20s. So, like I did, I can't even, I'm not trying to throw no shade.
It
I
is
got
what it
married in my
is.
20s. Yeah, but I'm not happy I got married. So
Yeah,
my
we are.
situation,
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
That's real
our
life.
situation's a little different. But yeah, like so, whoever you are today needs is going to be different in 40 years.
Yeah.
Because if you're not different, then you are dying. There's either growth or death. So if your aim is to stay the same, then you're not feeding your growth, and you will just be stagnant and die. You
That's
will notice
facts.
all the friends go away that you went to high school with. That you're gonna be one of those ain't shit motherfuckers who graduated high school and stayed and didn't do nothing.
Oh,
Played video games on your mama's couch.
oh, oh.
Gotta change. You gotta grow.
Yeah. No, 1,000% agree with you. I thought you were gonna say the other one when you if you want to be with multiple people, be with one person and look at how they change. If you
Ooh.
want to be with, that's the quote I thought you was gonna say.
Hey, I like it. That's
Next in
not
the
one of mine,
wing.
but I like it.
And
I
then
like it.
and the other one is if you want to be with the same person, just date a whole bunch of people because you gonna realize
See
your type.
yourself.
Because you're going to realize your type is going to be the same type of person that you're looking for and the same problems you're running away from.
Mm-hmm. Shadow work.
Shadow work is all I'm
Shadow work.
saying. Get to it. All right.
Page 77.
Page 76. Move with the cheese and enjoy it. Page 77. Let's get on it. A discussion. Later that same day, when Michael finished telling the story and looked around the room and he saw his former classmates smiling at him, several thanked him and said they got a good deal out of the story. Nathan asked the group, what would you think of getting together later and maybe discussing it? Most of them said they would like to talk about it, and so they arranged to meet later for a drink before dinner. That evening, as they gathered in a hotel lounge, they began to kid each other about finding their cheese and seeing themselves in a maze. Then Angela asked the group, a good-natured, so who are you in the story? Sniff, skirt, him, haw? Carlos answered, well, I was thinking about that this afternoon. I clearly remember a time before I had my sporting goods business when I was I had a rough encounter with change. I wasn't Sniff. I didn't sniff out the situation and see the change early, and I certainly wasn't Scurry. I didn't go into action immediately. I was more like him, who wanted to stay in familiar territory. The truth is, I didn't want to deal with the change. I didn't even want to see it. Michael, who felt like no time had passed since he and Carlos were close friends in school, asked, what are we talking about here, buddy? Carlos said, an unexpected change of jobs. Michael laughed. You were fired? Well, let's just say I didn't want to go out looking for new cheese. I thought I had a good reason why change shouldn't happen to me. So I was pretty upset at the time. Some of their former classmates who had been quiet in the beginning felt more comfortable now and spoke up, including Frank, who had gone into the military. Him reminds me of a friend of mine, Frank said. His department was closing down, but he didn't want to see it. They kept relocating his people. We all tried to talk to him about the many opportunities that existed in the company for those who wanted to be flexible. But he didn't think he had to change. He was the only one who was surprised when his departure closed. Now he's having a hard time adjusting to the change and didn't think it should happen. Jessica said, I don't think it should happen to me either. But my cheese has been moved more than once, especially in my personal life. But we can get to that later. Many in the group laughed, except Nathan. Maybe that was the whole point, Nathan said. Change happens to all of us. He added, I wish my family had heard the cheese story before this. Unfortunately, we didn't want to see changes coming into our business, and now it's too late, and we're having to close many stores. That surprised many in the group because they thought Nathan was lucky to be in a secure business that could depend on year after year. What happened? Jessica wanted to know. Our chain of small stores suddenly became old-fashioned when a megastore came to town with a huge inventory and low prices. We just couldn't compete with that. I can see now that instead of being like Sniff and Scurry, we were like him. We stayed where we were and didn't change. We tried to ignore what was happening, and now we're in trouble. We could have taken a couple of lessons from Hall because we certainly couldn't laugh at ourselves and change what we were doing. Laura, who had become a successful businesswoman, had been listening, but had said very little until now. I thought about the story this afternoon too, he said. I wondered how I could be more like Hall and see what I'm doing wrong, laugh at myself, change, and do better. I'm just going to read this last and we're going to talk for a second. She said, I'm curious, how many here are afraid of change? No one responded. So she suggested, how about a show of hands? 2 questions. Ooh, if you are live with us, who do you see yourself as? Sniff, sniffing out the change. Scurry, moving immediately when you feel a change happening. Him, someone who just sits with it, doesn't want to see it, but eventually goes, or Hall, someone who just stays there and just lets everything fall.
I feel like I'm a him for sure because as much as I like to, and people think that I'm quick moving and quick acting, it's because I can't turn my brain off. So all the decisions I make have been well thought through, even if they could not have been anticipated by normal people. And people don't understand I work that way. Like, yes, I have had absolutely every fight me and my wife could ever have already in my mind. Like, I have already gone through hundreds of thousands by myself. When I was running my business, I went through every possible contingency day after day after day. And it's not an anxiety thing. It's just how I think. I think 6 thoughts at a time. So usually 2 of those thoughts are about danger and the other 4 are about fun. I'm focused on having fun, flying forward, doing my thing. And then 2 of my thoughts are just like, make sure I don't mess this up.
That's real. That's real. That kind of sounds like follow your heart but take your brain with you.
I like that.
Okay. I'm a bit of him. I'll sit with it a little bit. I'll feel it sting for a little bit, and I'm like, dang. Depending on what the change is, like, I'm in a situation now where I'm hemming right now. I'm sitting in it. I'm letting this joint brew. I'm letting it steep, and it's like, nah, change needs to be made. So the book's speaking to me right now. So I'm gonna act. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make an adjustment. But I'm hemming. I'm feeling the sting, but I'm strapping up my boots. I'm lacing them up. Whoa, the running shoes for this metaphor. Yeah, I'm lacing up the running shoes. All right.
We'll get some cheese.
What do you do? Yeah. Dang, we's flying. Blast. I will say I'm not afraid of change. However, it takes a moment for me to change. Mine is a little bit of, let me think about every single angle. How you said you already had every argument you could have. Let me think of every argument, every possibility. And that's a moment of him. Instead of just scurrying to it. Because I know what I got to do. I'm too invested in what I'm doing.
That's such a delicate balance. Even when we got to that part of the book, I was like, how do you decide between waiting too long to think about something and actually doing something? Because remember, I was like, the mice immediately moved on. But then you pointed out, no, they saw the cheese going down. You know, they were observant. They knew what was going on, and then when it was time, they was good to go. But I feel like I love quitting. I made a whole post once about how winners know when to quit. Because if something isn't working right, or if something is hurting you, if something is not improving you, then you need to quit it. Just saying. And winners know when to quit. So yeah, I got a lot of philosophies there.
And sometimes it's never.
That's a good question. Is there a winner who's never quit?
Or, yeah, they had to have not quit.
Well, they had to have not quit the one thing that they're in. But in order to succeed at this one thing, I mean, that's a question for the podcast.
We might dabble into that a little later. Okay. One hand went up. Well, it looks like we've got one honest person in our group. She said, and then continued, maybe you'll like this next question better. How many here think other people are afraid of change? Practically everyone raised their hands. Then they all started laughing. What does that tell us? Denial. Nathan answered. Sure. Michael admitted sometimes we're not even aware that we're afraid. I know I wasn't. When I was first heard about the story, I loved the question, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Then Jessica added, well, what I got from the story is that change is happening everywhere, and I will do better when I can adjust to it quickly. I remember years ago when our company was selling our encyclopedia as a set of more than 20 books. One person tried to tell us that we should put our whole encyclopedia on a single computer disk and sell it for a fraction of the cost. It would be easier to update, it would cost so much less to manufacture, and so many more people could afford it. But we all resisted. Why did you resist? Nathan asked. Bum, bum, bum. Because we believed then that the backbone of our business was our large-scale sales force, who called people door to door, kept keeping our sales force depending on big commissions they earned from the high prices of our products. We had been doing this successfully for a long time and thought it would go on forever. Laura said, maybe that's what is meant in the story about him and Hall's arrogance of success. They didn't notice they needed to change what had once been working. What new night, y'all? Come tap in with us tomorrow night, Tuesdays at 9. Nathan said, so you thought your old cheese was your only cheese? Yes, we wanted to hang on to it. When I think back on what happened to us, I see that it's not just that they moved the cheese, but that the cheese has a life of its own and eventually runs out. Anyway, we didn't change, but our competitor did, and our sales fell badly. We've been going through a difficult time. Now another big technological change is happening in the industry, and no one at the company seems to want to deal with it. It doesn't look good. I think I could be out of a job soon. It's maze time, Carlos called out. Everyone laughed, including Jessica. Carlos turned to Jessica and said, it's good that you can laugh at yourself. Frank offered. That's what I got out of the story. I tend to take myself too seriously. I noticed how Hall changed when he could finally laugh at himself and at what he was doing. No wonder he was called Hall. The group groaned at the obvious play on words. Angela asked, do you even think that him even changed and found new cheese? Elaine said, I think he did. I don't, Corey said. Some people never change and they pay the price for it. I see people like him in my medical practice. They feel entitled to their cheese. Let's replace cheese with health here. They feel like victims when it's taken away and blame others. They get sicker than other people who let go and move on. Then Nathan said quietly, as though he was talking to himself, I guess the question is, what do we need to let go of, and what do we need to move on to? No one said anything for a while. I must admit, Nathan said, I saw what was happening with the stores like ours in other parts of the country, but I hoped it wouldn't affect us. I guess it's a lot better to initiate change while you can than to try to react and adjust to it. I'm gonna run that back. I guess it's a lot better to initiate change while you can than it is to try to react and adjust to it. Maybe we should move on our own cheese. What do you mean, Frank asked. Nathan answered, I can't help but wonder where we would be today if we had sold the real estate under our old stores and built one great modern store to compete with the best of them. Laura said, maybe that's what Hall meant when he wrote on the wall, savor the adventure and move with the cheese.
I was on the last page when we went to I guess it's a lot better to initiate change while you can.
Mm-hmm.
My most popular quote, phrase, slogan, time is a paradise, not a prison, ends with the phrase, because we wield the bars. A lot of times we place deadlines on ourselves that are so unnecessary. We tell our friends, oh yeah, I'll get that to you by a certain time. Or we tell people, I'll do this by a certain time. And we cage ourselves in. We accept extra hours from a boss we don't like. And then just mad at work all day. We can. Everybody has.
I don't know that life no more. I rebuked it. You're right. I'm thinking of what you put down.
We've all been there. We control the bars. You decide, yes, we need to survive. Yes, we need money. Yes, we need a house and clothes and food. But you still decide how you get those things. And our time, our cheese, like, we can wield those bars so much better than I see the average person wielding them. Most people just survive.
Yeah. It's time to thrive, y'all. Like, I am not trying to sound super cliche, but sometimes it is what it is. Like, we got to get out of survival mode. If you're in survival mode, if you're stuck, if you're feeling the change that needs to happen, and instead of acting, it's upset, you're expressing how you're feeling. Do something to feel different and express how you feel after you change. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Making some change. Change. Alright. We actually gonna stop shortly because it's only like 12 more pages in the book, like in total. And I want some stuff to talk about tomorrow because y'all are gonna tap in tomorrow at 9 because it's late. We just chilling out and it's like story time with the Floating Yogi. We just hanging out, shit. So come on.
Grab your beer or wine.
Right? Maybe your split. One of them things. Moving forward, because this is gonna be the adults one. We might have the kids one later. If you know what I mean. We might have a child's one, but this is the adult one. We just gonna learn this knowledge. We gotta get it for us. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna stop on this and I'm gonna finish page 84. Frankie said, I think that some things shouldn't change. For example, I want to hold on to my basic values. But I realize now that I would be better off if I had moved with the cheese a lot sooner in my life. Well, Michael, it was nice. It was a nice little story. Richard, the class skeptic, said, but how did you actually put it into use in your company? Okay. The group didn't know yet, but Richard was experiencing some changes himself. Recently separated from his wife, he was now trying to balance his career with raising his teenagers. Michael replied, I thought my job was just to manage the daily problems as they came up. As they came up. When what I should have been doing was looking ahead and paying attention to where we were going. And boy, did I manage those problems 24 hours a day. I wasn't a lot of fun to be around. I was in a rat race and I couldn't get out. Laura said, so you were managing when you needed to be leading? Exactly, Michael said. When then when I heard the story of Who Moved My Cheese, I realized my job was to paint the picture of new cheese that we would all want to pursue, so we could enjoy changing and succeeding, whether it was at work or in life. Ooh, I like it. I like
That's a
it.
good spot.
Right? That's a great spot. That's a great spot. I like that. Managing problems when you should be leading people. Let's tap back in tomorrow to flow about that, to grow about that, to figure out, how can we cope with change? Because I got some change coming. I got twins on the way, y'all. Them things about to pop through the portal any day now. Any day now. Hopefully they give us about a solid till Monday. That'd be fantastic. But, they going to do what they going to do. We going to see. So tomorrow night, Lord willing, them things ain't popping up out that thing, popping through the portal. Then I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, 9:00. We gonna go on this thing. We gonna grow. Hopefully you come through. And I want to tell you about the crew. I got to tell you about some of the people who help me be me, help me do what I do. We got my guy Payoga, DJ Sexy Tony. He's part of the crew. We got UE, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, restructuring health and wellness in the community, one healthy habit at a time. We got Lifeform with the phenomenal slip-resistant dope design mats that I use, that Junie uses, that we can get these lessons. And then we can bring them here to these places to actually iron out the kinks. To troubleshoot the lessons. Is this really what I thought it was? Oh, okay, it is. We also got Brent LV with some of your editing needs, some of your digital assets and stuff that you're looking for. Ooh, goodness gracious, there's so many folk. No Commercials International, Born to Fly Fitness, where fitness is fashion and mental health as well. Daggone it, I'll be here all day talking about the dope people. No commercials that help me do what I do. China Dog Yogi, China! All the folk. But, I'm just going to say the ones that I said. Buddha blessing. And I'm just going to, continue to let y'all know that you can tap in tomorrow. Sign up on the link below. It might be down there for the IG, but it's like right around here for other folk. If you want to, this way.
There you go, down into the left.
There we go, it's that way. Put it there. Go on, sign up for the free services. Become part of the community. Become part of the growth game. Vibe with us. Let's grow, y'all. Because we ain't about being stuck in no moldy cheese area with no cheese. Nah, we pursuing our desires, and I encourage you to be around those who are doing the same. The energy is infectious in a beautiful way. Woo-ha-ha! Peace and love, king, queens, and gods. Hey, what up, Eric? Oh, all y'all want to hop on when we about to hop off, huh? So hopefully I'm going to see all five of y'all. All five of y'all. James, Eric, Verica. I'm going to see all five of y'all tomorrow at 9. And we going to get it. We going to make it happen. Come on, let's grow. All right, good to see y'all. Peace.